All right, folks, let's dive deep into a game-changing play in the global market. China and Saudi Arabia, two heavyweight champs in the world economy, are shaking things up big time. They're cutting down on buying from Uncle Sam. Yep, you heard that right. This isn't just about saving a few bucks here and there. This is strategic chess at its finest, a move that's got the whole world watching and rethinking their next step. Now, let's get this straight. China and Saudi Arabia aren't just partners in trade. They're in it for the long haul. Over the years, they've been cozying up, and it's clear they're setting up a power duo that could give the West a run for its money. China's playing it smart. They need oil, and lots of it, to keep their economic engine roaring. Saudi Arabia? They've got oil in spades, and they're looking to break free from their one-trick pony act with oil by diversifying their economy with China's help. And here's the kicker. While the US has been playing it cool in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia's been scouting for new buddies, and China's stepping up. They're tired of the dollar drama and are looking for more stable, reliable partners to do business with. This shift, folks, is huge. It's about more than just trade. It's about influence, power, and reshaping how global economies interact. China's strategy? It's clear as day. They got a taste of vulnerability during the trade wars with the US and decided never again. They're pumping money into their own tech, from AI to electric cars, to make sure they're not caught off guard. As for Saudi Arabia, it's a delicate dance. They're threading the needle, trying to balance their economy and keep it moving forward without tripping over. So what's the big picture here? It's about independence, strategy, and securing a future where they're not just participants in the global market, but leaders who dictate the pace. They're not just cutting back on US imports out of the blue, they're setting the stage for a world where they hold the reins. Well, let me lay it out for you. Things are getting real interesting between Saudi Arabia and the US. It's like watching an old partnership go through some rough patches. And folks, it's not just about disagreeing on where to grab dinner. We're talking big-time issues like regional security and human rights that have put some serious strain on their friendship. So what's Saudi doing? They're not just sitting around, they're out there shopping for new partners, and China is looking mighty fine in their eyes. Now think about it. Saudi Arabia, they're not just an oil kingdom anymore. They've got big dreams with their Vision 2030, aiming to spice things up with tourism, entertainment, and high tech. And who better to help them out than China? With its massive manufacturing muscles and tech savvy, China's the perfect dance partner for this new tango. But here's where it gets even juicier. This isn't just about trade. Nope, it's a full-on geopolitical chess move. Both China and Saudi are kind of tired of dancing to the US tune and are looking to crank their own music. I have a small request. If you're enjoying this discussion, please hit the like button. Your likes and comments are incredibly important to us and help more people discover this content. If you haven't yet, consider watching the entire video to support our channel. Your engagement is invaluable and helps us continue to bring you in-depth analyses of global events. Thank you for being part of our community. For China, it's about lessening the wallet's dependence on Uncle Sam and pushing the yuan to the front of the international currency lineup, steering clear from those daunting US sanctions. And Saudi? They're not just switching partners for the heck of it. They see the big picture. With the US kind of stepping back from the Middle East, Saudi Arabia is not about to let that throne sit empty. They're stepping up big time, strengthening ties with China to fill that void and show the world they're not just a one-trick pony. We're seeing Saudi Arabia diving headfirst into China's Belt and Road Party, laying down tracks with infrastructure projects that stretch from the sandy dunes of Riyadh all the way to the bustling streets of Beijing. And let's not forget about Neom, Saudi's futuristic megacity that's all set to be a playground for the latest Chinese tech. Folks, what we're witnessing here is not just a shift in who buys what from whom. This is about reshaping power dynamics on the global stage, with Saudi Arabia and China drafting a new world order where they're not just players, but the ones calling the shots. We're looking at a big shakeup in the way the world does business, and it's something we really need to talk about. China and Saudi Arabia are cutting down on what they're buying from the US, This isn't just a small change, it's a major move towards what looks like a new kind of global trade landscape where it's not just America calling the shots. This could be a game changer in how countries interact and compete on the world market. Now, the US has always been the big guy on the block, right? The largest economy, a powerhouse in global trade. But with China and Saudi Arabia pulling back, things might get a bit tougher for us. Our influence in international trade talks could take a hit, and that could even shake up the dollar's spot as the go-to currency around the world. Imagine that, the dollar not being the main player. That's something we've taken for granted for so long. And here's another thing. This move by China and Saudi Arabia is all about tech and energy. They're not just stepping back from buying our stuff, they're beefing up their own industries. China's pouring money into everything high-tech, artificial intelligence, semiconductors, you name it. They want to be the leaders, set their own rules. And Saudi Arabia? They're doing the same with energy, not just relying on oil, but getting into newer, cleaner technologies. What this means for us here in the US is we've got to wake up and smell the coffee. This is the time for us to rally, to innovate, and not just sit back and watch as others take the lead. We've been the world's leading innovator, and we can't give that up. We need policies that boost our tech industries, support our workers, and keep America competitive. This isn't just about economics, it's about maintaining our standing and our strength on the global stage. So as these global supply chains start shifting, creating new hubs in Asia, the Middle East, and beyond, it's a call to action for us. We need to be at the forefront, leading the charge in innovation and growth. It's about securing our future, ensuring that American ingenuity leads the way in this new multipolar world. Let's not let this challenge scare us. Instead, let's face it head on, showing the world that America is still in the game, stronger than ever. China's pushing hard with its Made in China 2025 initiative. What they're doing is playing the long game, aiming to be less dependent on foreign tech, really beefing up their own capabilities in fields like semiconductors, AI, and renewable energy. This isn't just about making things, it's about leading the pack, setting the global standards. Now, Saudi Arabia, they're not just sitting back either. With their Vision 2030, they're sprinting towards diversifying their economy. We're talking a shift from an oil-dependent kingdom to a more varied powerhouse, tapping into tourism, entertainment, and yup, you guessed it, technology. But here's the kicker. They're not leaning on the US as much anymore. Instead, they're getting cozy with China, letting Chinese companies dive into their big renewable energy projects. They're going all in on solar and wind power, trying to get ahead in the clean energy race. So what's all this mean for us in the US? It's a wake-up call, a real big one. While Saudi Arabia and China beef up their own industries, they're dialing back on imports from the US. This isn't just about lost sales, it's about losing ground in technological and economic influence. If we're not careful, we could find ourselves playing catch-up. But hey, America's got a lot of fight left. It's time we get our own game plan in gear. We could strengthen ties with other allies in the region, places like Israel and other Gulf states. These are strategic hubs that can help us maintain influence in the Middle East and beyond. And let's not forget about forging new trade deals and partnerships. This isn't just about making up for what we might lose with China and Saudi Arabia. It's about opening new doors, finding new opportunities. It's time to roll up our sleeves and get to work, building a stronger, more resilient economy that doesn't just rely on the old ways of doing business, but innovates and leads in ways only America can. Remember, folks, challenges come and go, but it's how we respond that really counts. Let's take this as an opportunity to show the world what we're made of. Let's innovate, let's diversify, and let's build an America that's ready for the future, come what may. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. We sincerely appreciate you joining us today. If our content resonated with you or sparked inspiration, please consider expressing your support by liking it and subscribing to stay connected with our community. Your support holds immense value for us.